Welcome back to another episode of Acura Honda Classic, sponsored by Acura Pembroke Pines. So we're going to be starting the bodywork process on this car. Now what we're going to be doing is we're actually going to be doing all the parts first. Now let's remember, we're a full dealership and a full body shop here, so we are a little bit busy, so we're trying to mainstream this into the workflow. But what we're actually going to do is we're going to do the bumpers, we're going to do the spoiler, the mirrors, we're going to send all that upstairs, and then we're going to work on the actual body itself. So let's take a look at this bumper. These bumpers, they look like they've been, look at that, how crusty this is. I can actually kind of pick it off with my hand. So that's a lack of actually sanding at one point, and I know there's been some layers on here. So what you're gonna see us do in this episode is we're gonna sand them all down, and we're pretty much gonna get them ready for paint. Now what I like about these bumpers is they are original bumpers, okay? You can even tell in here that someone had a little bit of a field day painting these trims. And I don't think that these trims are removable. So we're gonna have fun actually reversing it, most likely painting it black after the fact. But anyways, these are original bumpers. Now the cool thing about this car is that it is all original. Now it has a salvage title, but only because it's stolen. So you think about this car, it's about 20 years old plus, and it still has the original pieces on the car, only because the moment in its actual life did it get stolen, and now it's salvaged. So it's not been an accident. These are original. Yes, they've been painted over. Look at that right there. That is the VIN number at one point. So unfortunately, we can't fix that, but we'll clean it up real nice and neat. Now on this actual particular car, like a lot of older Hondas, the grills are inserted and molded into the actual car itself. So we're gonna have to take a lot of time to mask that off, and most likely we'll do the black trim. We'll repaint that once it's actually been painted white. It's just easier to get a nice clean line on there. Now we're missing the actual top caps here. We're able to get those, we'll paint those as well. So the plan with Championship White, which we'll take you through, is we're actually going to go ahead and mix up a whole bunch of paint for this car, probably close to 2 gallons. Then we mix up that paint, that means that we're gonna be able to stay consistent with the actual paint job itself, and we don't have to worry about any variance down the road if someone else mixes the paint. So take it through the process. We're gonna get these prepped. We're also gonna kind of look at the fenders and see what kind of work they need. We actually picked up some new fenders for the car. Well, new to us, not from the car, in really, really good shape. So let's get started. Okay, so we're back now, and we're gonna actually start on the bumpers. What we have here is Diaz, and what he is doing is he's degreasing the bumper, and this is the first step in every single process for bumpers or whatever we might be painting, to remove any of the contaminants or anything that is actually on the paint. Because what you'll be doing if you don't remove the dirt and all the junk is you're actually gonna be sanding it into the surface of the paint, and that's not good for adhesion or for any sort of contamination for fisheye. So just gonna clean it all up, and then what'd you get there? Wow, look at that. Is it live? So that is a beehive, still remnants. That's pretty cool. So yeah, it's pretty caked up. So I get all that cleaned up, and I wanted to show you a couple portions that were kind of a little bit messed up, that we're gonna have to take some time. That's on the rear bumper and the front. These black little areas right in here, these inserts, see like they've been oversprayed. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna prep the whole entire bumper, sand the whole entire bumper, get all this caked up overspray out of here, and then we're going to paint the whole bumper as if they weren't black, and then we're gonna mask the bumper off and then paint those nice and black. That way we have a nice finish and a nice foundation for that paint to stick. So yeah, coming back over here, we're gonna set up the time lapse. We're gonna hit it up, we're gonna sand it down, and let's see what we have underneath the surface. Okay, so we have the bumper all nice and clean. We dried it, and as we were blow drying it, the paint started to peel and chip in certain spots of the bumper, which is quite consistent with a paint job that is not done properly. So, you know, we're gonna spend some time. We're actually gonna start with a 180 grit, and we're gonna remove as much as paint as we can that has poor adhesion to really get it down. And from there, we're gonna feather that out, which means smooth it out, the transitions between the old paint. This is a 180, let me see that. So it's a 180, it's hook it. That means this is like a Velcro. And this is a DA sander. You can see as it moves, it doesn't move just in a circle, it kind of bounces back and forth, okay? And what he's gonna do and what we're gonna do is just pretty much show them feathering this out. Okay. This act is called feathering, meaning smoothing it out and seeing if it needs any Bondo filler, plastic filler. We'll know if there is any depressions left in the actual paint. So right there, yep. So you'll see we'll have to get a little bit of filler probably, maybe for this area. If we bring it around here, for instance, this is a chip, just to show you. Okay, that is now feathered out. You can see the paint layer. So that's pretty much what we're gonna be doing as we work a little bit quickly on a time lapse. So we'll show you that process and show you what it looks like once we sand it down this whole bumper. All right. So we're kind of 3/4 through the process, kind of, sort of, and you know, we can really see the old paint here. It's almost like really, really yellow. So we're really trying to feather all that out and went over this Integra letterage to get a nice and clean cut. We're gonna need have to apply Bondo. Let's talk about what the Bondo is. It's not actually Bondo, it's what we call polyfill, and it's a flexible filler. Now, as Diaz works, I'm gonna talk just a little bit. Why do we use the flexible filler? Well, we use a flexible filler because we have a flexible part. Now, what makes it flexible? Well, there's some resins in here, okay, that kind of make it elastic. And why is this important? Well, as you're driving, okay, your bumper is flexing and it's moving, and so is the substrate or whatever else is on that bumper. So if you have a rigid body filler that is meant to be on a panel of some sort, it's going to flex and it will crack. So we want to try to use as minimal filler as possible. So we use what we call Polyflex. And I'm gonna mix up a little bit and we're gonna dab it into those areas that need it. We're gonna let that cure and then we'll sand it, okay? And what this will do is to give us a nice finish for primer when we get to that point on this bumper. As you can see, the bumper needs a little bit of work. So let's get back to it. Let's mix up a little bit of this and let's get it onto the bumper. right, so we're gonna move on to the fenders. We got the guys taking them apart now. We want to do a test fit. If you didn't know, we actually picked up some fenders from one of the Acura Honda Classic members. He was able to donate them over to the project. So thanks for that, Dre. Guys, right now we're taking them apart. We went ahead and we circled all the little dents, little areas that we need to apply filler or to bang them out a little bit. And now what we're gonna do is sand down the actual fenders, and some will just need filler, some will need to be tapped out from the back of the actual fender itself, and then we will most likely prime most of this fender. Alright, so you saw the guys, you saw what we did. We were able to take that front bumper, sand down all the chips and any gouges or anywhere that really needs a lot of work. And then we moved on to the fenders, go ahead and fill the fender with little dents. And this is all part of the process of moving towards the body of the car. Now we have those parts in primer right now. We're going to wait till we actually get to the paint stages. So to see more videos, make sure you subscribe, like, comment, and even share so the rest of the community can see what we're up to over here at Acura Pines. Thanks so much for viewing, and we'll see you on the next episode.